Smith. I really appreciate you letting me come and observe you teaching today. How do you think it went?
I think it went well. The kids really enjoyed the centers, and it was able to really help them with focusing on sorting and putting things that are alike in different groups. And it was something fun for them.
Okay,
Kept them busy.
awesome. Do you think it's anything you could have done any better or anything?
Um, Maybe gave them a little more time, or I could have challenged them more as far as with the sorting. What I could have done is, like, I could have said after they sorted the colors, like with the cereal sorting mat, I could have said, okay, now sort them by whichever ones have the most number or the least numbers.
Okay, so okay, more challenging. I really enjoyed the lesson. I like how you open it up with something to connect to, that reading. I really did like that. And all the kids were really engaged in the lesson. And they seem to have been enjoying it. As I was walking around observing the centers, they seem to have actually really liked it. And you know, when we were talking earlier, when I modeled you, was like, you're flowing really well, like you've been teaching for a long time. But when you presented it to them, it was like you have been teaching for a while. You knew what you were doing. How about the resources? The resources that I pulled for you, did you actually like those?
Yes, I really, really did. I love those.
And so I will show you how to locate resources and everything. Now, another extension to this, since you said, you know, more challenging, after they did the colors on the bunnies, you can have them to go back and write on the tail or something how many they put on there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Same thing with your cereal sorting. They can go back and count how many of each cereal that they put on there and put the number up under there. So that'll give them a little bit more challenge. And the same thing with the rainbow. After they get finished filling in their rainbow, they can go back and count how many of each they had, and they could put red how many,
Right.
orange how many, yellow how many, green how many, purple, blue. They can go back and add those numbers to how many it was, and then you can also ask them which color had the most. And more than likely it'll be an orange or a red because it's got the bigger band on it. But they don't know that at the time,
Right,
you
right.
know. And so those are some of the things you can do. I'm glad that the kids actually like the centers and everything, but that's how you can incorporate a lot of extra activities into what they're doing. And everything, you know, don't have to be for a grade, but you can always, and resources are free. Resources are free. It may be something that you really, really want that you might be able, that you want to buy, but most resources are free. All of this stuff right here was free.
Okay.
And all it took was, you know, ink, copy. But, and I think, you know, once you get in the habit of pulling all the resources and things, you know, you'll actually be more enthusiastic about it, you know, because you found it. And I like that, how you've accepted my help and you've actually enjoyed it, you know, and I'm glad I was able to help you actually see some other sides of things, you know. And kids, usually they love centers, and I saw how your kids actually like going to the centers. They want to go to the centers, you know. And so that's what we want, to have them engaged, you know, and that's one of the biggest things, is to get the kids engaged and learn. Because I'm sure after this week is over, you can put anything in front of them sorting, and they'll know how to sort it.
I agree.
You know, and that's the thing. You've got to bring in additional resources beyond what you were doing in order to get them engaged in it and wanting to do it, and, you know, excited about it. And even with that, that will cut down on a lot of behaviors.
Right, I agree.
The same way with these math centers that you're doing, you can incorporate that into reading. Reading can go the same way. And see, like, even with these, although it's math centers, there's reading inside of it too. They had to read these colors and color to do what they say. They're kindergartners, so simple. They knew about the series, giving the feedback. I like how you brought that literature into that too, that reading. That's that cross curricular with those two different subjects. And see, like even when you go back to that reading, you could talk to them about how that book is connected, and you may even put something like this in one of your reading centers, this rainbow, because even though they're sorting, they have the colors that they have to read in there. So a lot of times I know teachers say that they don't have time for science or social studies or something, so you incorporate it into reading.
Right.
That can be something that can be incorporated into reading.
Okay.
Is there any questions you have for me or anything that you need right now from me?
I really like the resources that you pulled, and I like how you helped, I guess I could say, like, sweeten up my small groups and my centers. It's different from how I was kind of doing them, but
Yes.
I love it, and I know that they love it.
But it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Strong.